And ahead of Saturday's governorship election in Ekiti State, the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Prince Uche Secondus, has led a protest to the National Assembly over alleged infringement of the rights of the electorate. The protesters are seeking the intervention of the federal lawmakers to prevail on the security agencies that have been deployed to the state to be law-abiding as they carry out their duties during the Saturday election. It is barely 48 hours to the Saturday, July the 14th governorship election in the state, while the two major contestants in the election are busy canvassing for votes from electorates. The heavy presence of police and other security operatives in the state has been a major cause of concern for the People's Democratic Party, the PDP.
Have come so that you can intervene by the oversight function of the National Assembly. You have the right, the mandate is with you by the Constitution to query and to examine and carry out your oversight function on the executive and the security. The security agencies cannot be above the law.
Well, that may form part of our conversation today. Security, elections in Nigeria, and perhaps how the nation can stay secure. Let's tell you about the latest development regarding the issues and the debate over state policing. Today, a bill expected to alter the constitution of Nigeria and create state police has been read on the floor of the Senate for the first time. The bill is sponsored by the Deputy Senate President Ike and 75 other senators. The call for state police has become loud in recent times, especially in the wake of incessant killings across the country. The argument for state police is that it will strengthen the nation's policing system. Well then, let's get conversation started on this one. Do you want a state police? Let me give you a premise. For example, you know in Nigeria, there is a federal police. So it then means that will every state now have control over its own police? How will it look like? A lot of people have debated. If we are making use of the federal system of government, we should be able to make use of some of the elements that comes with it, such as state policing. Let's get to the conversation started, everyone. Joining me here in the studio is Professor Anthony Kila. He's a strategist in development and policy and governance issues. And also with him is Mr. Ezenwa. He's the Executive Director of Partners for Electoral Reforms. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Let me start with you, Professor Kila. Does it make sense for us to consider state policing in the first place?
Well, I think it does. I mean, the idea behind state policing generally is that you localize issues and the police are nearer to the issues you're dealing with. In the ideal world and in the mind of those who created, deployed and devolutionized police force, the idea is that the police is part of the community. They know the people, they know the place, and they're also stakeholders, direct stakeholders.
But we've been on that road before. It's not, state policing is not... a debate over it is not something that is just started today. We've actually had some kind of state policing before, or community policing, if we may. So a lot of people had said, look, if you have state police, the police in the hands of governors, they will misuse it. That's a major concern, isn't it?
Well, I think it's a major concern. I mean, one, you can debate anything as long as you want. But, you know, if you have a bit of sense of history and an understanding of strategic security, then you will have an informed view. For the fear that will state governors exploit state police, that's a matter of the kind of system we've built in which we do not trust each other. But our problem is not even the lack of trust. Our problem is that we do not have system in place that can oversee the lack of trust. We just need to do the right thing. There are state police in most parts of the world. They call them different kind of names. And such fear is not there. To those who fear that the state governors might monopolize and exploit state policing, we ask them, is it right for the federal government to exploit federal policing? You know, it's just a matter of trust. That is, it doesn't stand here or there.
Mr. Nwago, weighing on this one. State police, I mean, we've debated this over and over in this country, and perhaps it looks like we're moving in circle. Now that the National Assembly is taking, it's past the first reading, understand it. What do you say about this bill?
Well, I think that the conversation goes beyond the issue of trust. My sense is that we hardly like to think through any issue. We sidestep challenges rather than confronting them. There is no country that is as big as Nigeria that we can give as an example that has one central police.
India. India is bigger than Nigeria.
It is. You're right. Yeah.
Yes,
like that.
but even at that, when you talk about, what about Argentina? What about the US? What about Britain? All right? So big countries will do well having, a devolutionalized police. But let me come. What I'm saying is that, yes, we need that, but there's a challenge that we need to think through. And you did raise that. We can't wish it away. We're seeing what the governors are doing with state independent electoral commissions all over the country.
Oh, I mean, it's winner takes all.
So in everywhere that they control the process.
And take me through what happened in Ekiti yesterday. If there was a state police in place with a federal INEC administering an election, what do you perhaps see happening?
Well, first is that...
you brought the example of state electoral commission.
Yes.
Winner takes all. And you imagine a state police and perhaps the federal INEC.
What I told you is that we need to work out on the mechanics of having a state police. We are not ready to have that conversation. We need a state police, but what we need to throw into having a policing system that will serve the interests of the people and not the people in government is the conversation that we are not holding. So, for instance, if you're going to have state police, how do you process that? What kind of people become the state police commission, for instance? What are the things who will oversight them? All right? So that debate has to take place. I think the National Assembly...
In the light of almost 1,900 people killed in this country compared to over 800 people killed in 2017. I mean, we have loads and loads of killings on our hands in this country.
State police a long time because the killings didn't just start. The killings didn't just start today. We don't bring closure to any matter. We are people who don't bring closure to any matter.
We just do the surface.
We do the surface.
And if you fix the problem for a moment, and afterwards...
Yes, because the thinking, if you go back, you don't find out that if this is the reason for state police, we should have had it like yesterday.
Professor, if you were Nigeria's president, would you do differently? Would you, in the light of the killings that we've seen, what would you perhaps have done?
Well, for starters, if I were a Nigerian president, I would have deployed bigger force. Regarding the killing, I would have declared an emergency. I will have shown Nigeria...
In how many states?
In all the states where there's killing.
But there are a lot of them.
Yes, you will declare security
You
emergency.
almost have a police state at the end of the day.
No, a security emergency is not a state where nothing works. It's a state where you add more police, where you do more investigation. Italy, United States, Israel, Afghanistan, those are countries that have had series of terrorism. They did not shut their state. What you need is a leader that shows that every life counts, and I will go out of my way to pursue anybody that killed my citizens. That said, if you want to find...
Sorry, I'd like to proceed for a moment. I would like you to land on that thought. We'll bring the conversation around what is happening in Ekiti State. Since we're all in Ekiti State, get some practical experience on what is happening and how we can fix Nigeria in the light of these insecurity issues. That seems to be one of the major problems of this country, isn't it? Stay with us, everyone. We're not going anywhere. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, you join in the conversation. My guests are here. I will put some kind of solution to the issues, everyone.